If you're looking for an affordable marker that you can use to color in either coloring books or stamp designs, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and today I am sharing a new water-based marker from Ohuhu. And this marker is made to be able to use layers and layers of color without ruining the paper. Now, these are not alcohol markers. They are not meant for lots of blending and shading, but you can put several layers down without starting to pill your paper. So let's take a look at the markers themselves and the dual tips that they have. Before we do jump in, I did want to mention that Ohuhu has generously offered a coupon code for you all. It is 10% off anything at ohuhu.com, and the coupon code is Rebecca10, and I'll remind you at the end of the video as well. So this is the new 60 marker set of dual tipped water-based ink markers by Ohuhu. I love when markers come in a carrying case like this. It zips completely up. It's almost like those old CD cases. It looks like, only obviously a little bit larger, but it makes it easy to carry around, to bring with you, to color on the go if you enjoy doing that. And there are several things inside, including the markers, of course. There's a swatch sheet that shows the colors, but there's also a swatch sheet for you to swatch out the colors. And you'll see that there are a whole bunch of colors in each of the families. So we've got reds and pinks, we've got blues and purples, greens, neutrals in browns and grays, and yellows, oranges, and some more pink here. So I love all the colors that are included. 60 is a great number for a set like this. Here's the brush side tip. It's your typical brush tip. Now, the marker itself will have a number and a name on it. That makes it really easy to line it up with your swatch chart. And here is that other bullet or fine point tip. So we're used to using like a bullet tip for alcohol markers, but this is more of a fine point tip. If you like to do any scrapbooking and you do journaling, this is a great tip for that. You can also take notes with it. You can do all kinds of things, add dates to your coloring projects or whatever you want with that other tip. You can even get in there and do some fine line details. Now let's swatch out those markers and let's use them for some coloring. So here I'm swatching out all of the colors in this set on the swatch chart, and I'll just scribble with the brush end tip to get the color down onto the rectangle for each of the colors that are available. And I'm making sure that even though I had them a little unorganized before because I had taken some out and used them, that I'm putting them back in the order of the swatch. This way I can easily grab what I need when I'm looking at that swatch chart. And look at all these bright, gorgeous colors. There's just a great variety in this set. Now, for me, I'm looking at these markers and how I'm going to use them. So I'm trying them on different pieces of paper. Basically, what's great about these markers is that typically with water-based markers, you can't do too many layers without the water starting to pill the paper. And Ohuhu has said that you can do up to 20 layers or maybe a few less, that you can go back and forth over that section 20 times without pilling your paper. Now, of course, this is going to depend on what paper you use, so I wanted to try it on a couple of different papers here. I have my Hammer Mill, which is a 100-pound paper, and it's very ultra smooth, and I have my Neenah 80-pound paper. Now, actually, I was not a big fan of these on the Hammer Mill, and I was more of a fan of them on the Neenah. So for alcohol markers, I typically use the Hammer Mill, or I use alcohol marker friendly cardstock. This is a coloring set from Altenew, and it has flowers in black outlines and then a light gray that you can use for no line coloring. So I decided to try this as well. This was the one that I felt like these markers really did the best job at. So if you have things like this, say a set from Altenew that you can color in with markers, this is a great set to get your hands dirty trying out brush tips and coloring. Now, you're not going to do the same techniques that you would do with alcohol markers, but you can do some very basic coloring, which sometimes is all we want to do, right? Because the coloring is sort of the supposed to be the not stressful part. And if you're worried about blending and shading and like all of that, then that becomes more of a stress. So if you're using coloring to de-stress, this is a great affordable set to try out the brush tip and to get comfortable using a brush tip. And then if you want to use alcohol markers with a brush tip, I love the Ohuhu markers that have brush and bullet on the other end. And I've shared those before and I'll link to them down below as well. So here I have an image that I stamped and colored. Now, I used an ink that is watercolor friendly, and it still seems like it bled or lightened it up a little bit. You could stamp it again, keep it in a stamp position and stamp it again, but I really like the way that the Altenew came out. That is just a pre-printed design, so it's not going to smear at all, and it was a lot of fun to color. If you're interested in checking out these new markers from Ohuhu, I do have a coupon code for you. It will be down in the YouTube description box below this video. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.